So ghee and butter are almost similar. Butter आणि जास्त carbohydrates आणि proteins असतात. That creates problem when you heat butter. So for heating you can use ghee, you can use coconut oil, and for other thing apply butter on your bread and have it, no problem. Absolutely no problem for your health. This is one way you can definitely.
This is another good news for butter lovers.
Definitely you can enjoy instead of heating it. Na?
Okay.
So this is one. And another oil.
There is one, I wanted to know about margarine, because next to butter is, people use also margarine. Can we know something about that?
Margarine is oxidized. Okay. So margarine does not fit into the goodness of butter. I would say margarine is out. Is a processed and oxidized further.
Okay.
So margarine, I know there are a lot of advertisements saying margarine is good butter and all those things. Margarine is a bad butter. It's not a good butter, it is a bad butter. Okay. And another oil which everyone is talking about, especially in Goa today, is olive oil. Olive oil is good. Now, a lot of research has happened through that Mediterranean diet, which is supposed to be, till today, the best diet formula that is created. And then olive oil is one of the constituents of that Mediterranean diet. But when the Europeans use it for Mediterranean diet, they use olive oil directly into the salads and all those things. They don't heat much. Olive oil is about hardly 14% saturated and 75% MUFA, mono unsaturated. So it has a chance of getting, when you hit it, so it has a chance of getting converted into trans fat or other type of fat.
But, so it is the best that it is used for dressing.
It is best if you are having it as it is, because it is unsaturated, and a lot of it is unsaturated, and you can have it as it is. But when you are cooking it, this unsaturated portion can become a trans fat. So olive oil is next, I would say next best to coconut for cooking. But for your pure consumption, olive oil would be as good or better than coconut oil, because it is more of a unsaturated, because we need saturated, unsaturated, as well as mono unsaturated, as well as polyunsaturated. So olive oil could be one of the second best to coconut oil. Now, within coconut oil, butter, ghee and olive oil, I think you can get all your requirement for for fats. And I don't think we should change on to all these so many other fascinated oil. I think as I talk about them, you will find they are worse and worse and worse, including the rice bran oil, which is all these new oils.
Yeah, because there was a time, I think it is come on some health magazine, that you have to change your oil every time. Like for
change means you have to get your saturated fat, you have to get your monounsaturated fat, and you have to get your polyunsaturated. All three fats you have to get. Okay. So if you are getting them from, you can't get in the right proportion from one oil. So obviously you need more than one oil. You need more than one oil. And you don't feel like having same, you can change it only for the monotony of it.
Okay.
With this combination of 4, you will get all that you want.
Okay.
And this is a usual combination that we have. This is a tasty combination that we have. This is a healthy combination that we have. And this is available anywhere you go.
Okay.
We actually don't have to go for all these so-called costly, sophisticated, and I would add the word poisonous oils.
Now we have to be careful of the word refined. Well, we had mentioned about the rice bran oil. Yeah. I would like to know more about this oil, because now it is an in thing in the market.
In thing in the market. Rice bran oil has got a good proportion of omega-6 to omega-3. It is like a vegetable oil. All these vegetable, including rice bran, safflower, safflower, as well as your sunflower, they are these vegetable oils. If you go to the process of their preparation, which is a very complex process, and any process of preparation generates heat. So obviously there is going to be a lot of this oxidation and fragmentation of these double bonds which are existing into these polyunsaturated fats. Okay, so by the time, and the process is so clumsy that you use solvents like hexane, which is almost a cancerogenic substance, in the preparation of these oils. So by the time the oil comes out on the surface, it is such a complex preparation process that I don't think this oil could be a safe oil. I would say I do not think these oils are fit for human consumption. I know I'm using a little tough word, but I know that is what it is today. Though they have a correct ratio of N6 to N3, I've told you it is not just one ratio, it is 6 factors which I told you which we have to take into consideration when we are choosing an oil. While here, yes, they are more of polyunsaturated fats with N6 to N2, N3 ratio being very, very good. And on the basis of that ratio, they were promoted as the best oil for heart. And if you see the history, if you look at actually the demographic study, as these oils came into our country, our heart attack ratio started shooting up. Just before that, we used to get, as a student, I used to get to see 1 heart attack in a month's time in our ICU. Now, every now and then, you are getting only heart attacks. And if you time this, this is actually timed with Saffola and sunflower entering Indian market and then this going up. So a caution about these oils which people like in a lot of ways.
And there was so much fear that was put into the minds of people that we
they
all
were put,
got,
no, here is an oil with a correct N6 and N3 ratio, so the best for the heart. Everything else was forgotten. And people used it for cooking. They were mostly polyunsaturated, so they fragmented themselves so badly that they went inside and created too much harm on the human body. Too much harm.
So I think you have freely expressed this kind
I'm
of...
not associated with any of these
brands.
Manufacturers. Fish oil is again good, but fish oil is not for
like cod liver
heating.
oil.
You eat 1 spoonful of fish oil will give you plenty of, including vitamin D. So, but that fish oil is not meant for cooking.
Another
not at all suitable for cooking.
query I would like to ask you is about the flaxseed oil, because that is a very important health supplement. So can you elaborate on flaxseed?
This is mostly polyunsaturated.
So that is not good for cooking.
So it is not good for cooking.
Okay, but it can be had as a supplement.
As a supplement, it is mostly this unsaturated, polyunsaturated. So it can even with little cooking, it will get spoiled.
Okay.
Then your canola, Saffola, I have told you, they fall almost into that. And nuts are again good, but not suitable for this. Seed and vegetables, these are the oils. All these seed oils is where we have to be careful.
In Indian diet, the most important oil that has been mentioned is the coconut oil. Next to it is a sesame oil, but then I have read about sesame oil to be an to be used for external purpose, like application.
That falls into the seeds.
Right.
It is brought up from the seed. The process is so cumbersome. So by the time you extract the oil itself, it is almost about 4% of trans fat.
Right.
By the time it is prepared itself, because during that process, a complex process of preparation of the oil, you end up in creating trans fat. There itself is, it is 0.2% of trans fat inside this.
Right.
All this soya bean oil, corn oil I'll put inside it, cottonseed oil I'll put inside this, canola inside the same, your rapeseed oil,
And
your
what
sunflower
about,
oil,
and what about almond oil?
sesame oil, grapeseed oil,
safflower
oil, rice bran oil, they all fall into the seed and vegetable oil, which are number one, which were labeled as heart healthy only on one ratio of N6 to N3, but they are too rich in omega-6 fatty acid, that's number one. Then they have too much of a trans fat, and they are associated with, in fact, the process is so cumbersome that they are actually associated with not even heart problems, even with cancers.
I see.
So all these oils, to me, as on now, as we study the oils, as we get more and more reports about the oil, are not fit for human consumption.
That is a very important thing that we should know. And one thing we have missed is almond oil.
Almond oil again is very, very good.
Yeah, because almonds are usually high in protein, so
especially, of course, they are not that good for heating. Okay.
So for direct consumption, these oils are good. So now I think we have mostly understood about which oil to use and how to use it, because it is very important. Any ingredient, we might know about its nutrition value, but we don't know sometimes how to use it, which is important. Now I think it is a very important thing that we learned on this from Dr. Naik is what is the effect of oxygenation, what is the effect of light, and what is the effect of heating on oils, which is very important, because when we think that okay, this oil is healthy, we might do anything with it, fry it or use it for deep fry and everything, and that is where we lose its health.
Refined oil is not a good oil for us. So when you are getting an oil in the house,
this is so very important, because refined was a very assuring word for everyone, but now it is cautioned. Dr. Naik has cautioned us on that word itself.
It's an assuring marketing word.
Yes.
There we go. Gives them an assured sale by stimulating people to say, yeah, this is supposed to be good. What says? Paper says that, TV says that. Okay. And one point I would say, when you bring oil in the house, you have to be careful. Don't bring a big stock of oil, because you cannot preserve it for a long time.
Oh, I see.
Most of the oil will get spoiled unless they are refined.
What is the shelf life?
Depends upon, some of them are 3 months, 6 months.
Oh, I see.
This so short is the shelf life of all virgin oils.
And we can see, we can see all the ladies taking the 5-liter can home. So this is a big,
buy them in a small batch. एका महिन्याचा batch, एका महिन्याक जाय तितलेच घेऊन वचा, एका आठवड्याक जाय तितलेच होता. Okay. Prevent this oxidative damage by keeping them away from sunlight, away from heat. Preferably, you can, some of the olive oil, and preferably preferable to keep it in the fridge straight, okay, in a cool, dry place. This is what you will get the best out of these oils.
आमकां आज डॉक्टर नाईक कडून कितले इम्पॉर्टंट गोष्टी तेला बद्दल कळिल्ल्यो आसा, कारण एज विमेन वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द हेल्थ ऑफ द फॅमिली. आमकां पळोवचें पडटा की खंयचे इन्ग्रेडियंट्स आमी यूज केल्यार कशें आमच्या फॅमिलीचेर इफेक्ट जावं शकता, तांची हेल्थ इफेक्ट जावं शकता. आनी आज कितले सुंदर रित्यान आमकां कळ्ळें की तेल ही जी गोष्ट आसा, इट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट इन्ग्रेडियंट इन द किचन, आणि ताज्या वापरण्यान आनी तो कसले वापरप, कितें वापरप, ह्या बद्दल आमी सगळी म्हायती आज आमकां मेळ्ळी. ह्याच्या बद्दल तुमकां जर कितें प्रश्न असले जाल्यार तुमी परत आमकां विचारात, कारण हो विषय इतल्यानूच सपचो ना, कारण इट इज व्हेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स.
5 points to be combined and used in the house.
म्हणून तुमचे प्रश्न आमच्या पर्यंत येवनी. आमचो नंबर डिस्प्ले जाल्लो आसा स्क्रीनचेर. परत तुमकां आमच्या वेळेची म्हायती दिता. आमचो वेळ आतां बदललेलो आसा, 9:30 वरांचेर न्हय, आनी आमी येतली तुमकां मेळपाक रातचे 10 वरांचेर दर शुक्रारा प्रुडंट मिडियाचेर. कीप वॉचिंग अलर्ट, एक्टिव एंड अलाइव एट 100. बी विथ अस टिल देन. नमस्कार. थँक्यू.